Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, which is entitled as Sannyasa Yoga. Sloka 18. Nyayam nyeyam parignyata trividha karma chodhana karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha. In the earlier verses, Krishna clearly described about sattvika tyaga. He also emphasized more than once that this tyaga is possible only if the sattva guna is strong. In the 16th sloka, Krishna said, "Those who doesn't understand this do not see, though it appears they see, because he is lacking this knowledge of who is the actual doer." And in the 17th sloka, Krishna spoke about those who sees things as it is with proper knowledge and understanding. For one to have proper understanding and knowledge, they must be situated in sattva guna. Therefore, Krishna is going to elaborate how to subdue rajoguna and tamoguna and cultivate more of sattva guna. In the Vedic scriptures, there are many karmas are mentioned. Karma here in this context is actions, activities like Jyotishtoma, Putra Kameshti, Vayavya, different yaga yagyas which have been mentioned, various sacrifices. There are many mentioned in the Vedas to satisfy three types of gunas: sattva, rajas and tamas. People who are in mode of sattva guna, people in mode of rajoguna, and people who are in mode of tamoguna. And it also gives the instructions and procedures how to perform those karmas. Karma is of three types: sattvika karma, rajasa karma and tamasa karma. And the knowledge about these karmas are also of three types: sattvika jnana, rajasa jnana, tamasa jnana. And the person who performs these actions which has been mentioned in the scriptures are also of three types: sattvika karta, rajasa karta and tamasa karta. The Vedic scriptures caters for all types, any of these three types of people. The goal is to somehow or the other gradually elevate them to sattva guna. Since there are many karmas are mentioned in the scriptures, those who are interested in their well-being of Atma needs to pick that helps them. In what consciousness one needs to perform these karmas and how a person who does this karma needs to be are going to be explained in next few upcoming verses. So this is another section within the 18th chapter. After explaining all about sattvika tyaga, now for one to perform sattvika tyaga, one needs to know certain things. That is, karmas are of three: sattvika, rajasa, tamasa. The knowledge itself of three types: sattvika, rajasa and tamasa. And the doer of that karma is also of three types: sattvika, rajasa and tamasa. This is what going to be explained. Now let's understand the meaning of the sloka. Karma chodhana. The shastras which ordains actions, the actions like homa, yaga, yagya, so forth. Jnanam, knowledge about the action, that is the karma. If I do Jyotishtoma, I will go to heaven. If I do Putra Kameshti, then I will get a son. Without this knowledge, one will not get engaged in any action. I go to work, so I can get salary. I fall at someone's feet so I can get their blessings. I chant my rounds, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, so I can get bhakti. So this is the first thing one should have, jnanam, knowledge about the action. By doing this, I'm going to get this. Jneyam, the object of knowledge. It is about the karma itself. Just by having knowledge of Jyotishtoma is going to give me heaven is not sufficient. One need to apply that knowledge so that they can get the result. That is Jneyam. How to perform that action is to be known by the performer. For example, having a jnana, knowledge that this university is going to graduate me, is a jnana. But just having that jnana, we are not going to be graduated. We have to perform action. That is called jneyam, the object of knowledge. How to get graduated, that to be known. Parignyata, the knower who develops a clear understanding. Jnanam, that is knowledge is there, and jneyam, the knowledge about the karma is also there. Now we need a knowledgeable person who is called parignyata to perform that karma, the activity. Otherwise, what is the use of just having jnana and then jneya? That is knowledge about the action and the object of knowledge. If we don't have a person who is knowledgeable to perform the action. So that is the third one called parignyata. Iti trividha is of three kinds. Now after mentioning these three, the one in the middle, the jneyam, is further explained in the same sloka. Karma sangraha, the accomplishment of action. Karanam. This term has been interpreted differently by different acharyas. Prabhupada in his purport mentions, when there is an inspiration to perform an action and when there is an agent to execute their inspiration, then actual activity takes place by the help of the senses, including the mind. The doer is there, the knowledge of the action is there, but one needs to have karanam, the senses to perform the action. Another explanation that is given on this term karanam is the knowledge of action is there, then what is needed is tools to perform that particular action, the materials that are required to perform yaga yagya, like ghee, curd, grains, etc. That is mentioned as karanam as well. Karma, that action itself. Karta, the person who performs. So let's be clear again. What we are studying here is the first three things which is mentioned are jnanam, jneyam, parignyata. The process of knowing, the object of knowledge, and the knower. These three elements are the rule for actions or rites such as Jyotishtoma sacrifice and other sacrifices. After mentioning this, Krishna picks up the karma within this three, which is jneyam, and then elaborates that into three. In that, the first one is karanam, the second one is karma, that action itself, and the third one is karta, the person who performs that karma. Now the question is, what is the difference between the one we saw earlier, parignyata, and this one as karta? Are they a same person or a different person? They are one and the same. They are not two different people. But why it is mentioned twice is because earlier, that is parignyata. Parignyata means one who is knowledgeable of the karma and the process. Here it is mentioned not as knowledgeable person, which has already been discussed. Here it is said he is a person who performs the action, the doer. Therefore it's one and the same person. In the first stage is jnata, that is a knower. Unless and until one knows things, he cannot come to the second stage of karta, the doer. For example, I have a desire of wanting to play. So I see a ball. I get a jnana, knowledge that this is ball, this is not a stone. So that jnana is present within that person who is desiring to play. Then I go and pick up the ball, and that activity is done by me because I know it is a ball. If it was a rock, I would not go pick it up. So the first thing that is required before performing an action is jnana, knowledge. Therefore it's the same person. In the first stage it is jnata. After that he takes the second stage, which is karta, to perform the action. That is why in this verse earlier it is said parignyata, a knowledgeable person, and second it said karta, that knowledgeable person who performs the action. Unless one knows what it is and unless one knows what to do, one cannot become a karta, a performer, a doer. Iti trividaha involves these three parts. Let's see the translation. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and a knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. This verse and the following verse certainly requires attention because Krishna uses terms repeatedly. Jnanam, Neyam, Karma, and Karma several times has been used. So we may get lost if we don't focus. Any subject matter that we want to learn requires full attention for us to be successful in that subject matter. Inattentive hearing is not going to be helpful. So hearing Bhagavad Gita when we are tired, when we have other urgent important things to do, then that is not the right time to hear Bhagavad Gita. Sometimes we also seen the lectures will be going in the background where a person will be talking to someone else. Bhagavad Gita is a serious matter. So we have to be serious to learn and understand Bhagavad Gita. If something is not clear, we need to hear one more time. If it is not clear the second time, hear the third time. If it's still not clear after hearing multiple times, then we ask questions. This is how we can learn Bhagavad Gita. The scriptures prescribes the karma as three parts. Knowledge regarding the action that to be performed, the action to be undertaken, and the person who knows clearly the action to be performed. As far as the karma goes, the action itself, which is the object of knowledge, it is also threefold. Number one, the means and materials that are required for the performance. Number two, the karma, the yaga, yagya, homa itself. And number three, the agent, the performer. The term chodhana, karma chodhana, is a formula or a rule. Vidhi, upadesha, chodhana, these things are all one and the same, which is prescribed in the Shastra. The upadesha, the instruction, which is also known as vidhi and chodhana, is given in the scriptures to the living entities so that they learn and perform the actions. accordingly. So there are 6 factors being mentioned in this sloka: jnanam, jneyam, parikñāta, karanam, karma, karta. Jnanam is knowledge, jneyam is object of the knowledge, parikñāta is the doer. Out of these 3, jneyam, the object of knowledge, has 3-fold: karanam, karma, karta. Karanam, means and materials that are required for performing the action. Karma, the action itself, the yaga and yajna. And karta is the doer of that action. Of the 6 factors stated in this sloka, Krishna picks up 3 main ones to show how each of them divides into 3 types according to the 3 gunas. Let's learn about that in the next sloka. Jnanam jneyam parikñāta trividha karma chodhana karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha. Namaste. Hare Krishna.